I was reading different interviews with you in preparation for chatting with you today, and you said something really interesting to me, which is that you've learned different things from different people. You say that a big part of your education was working with Sofia Coppola. Mm-hmm. You know, your education continued long after your formal education.
Yes.
And I really believe in that. I really believe we learned so much. But you said that you learned manners from working with Kirsten Dunst and Nicole Kidman. And I thought, nobody talks about manners. And now I'm going to sound like an old man, but I promise you, I think it is a magic power. Mm-hmm. It's a magical thing to be well-mannered.
Yeah.
And you are exceptionally well-mannered. You're just you're a very kind person. I don't think people understand the superpower that is. Do you know what I mean? And
totally.
no one talks about it a lot.
Oh yeah.
They don't talk about it's all about, well, you know, obviously you got to have talent, but you also have to you got to be tactical and you got to do this. And how about, I swear to God,
being nice,
being well-mannered,
being
well-mannered, and I understand I've always heard it's part of a Southern thing. Like Jack is insanely well-mannered. Yeah. So anytime Jack McBrayer comes to my house, 2 days later, I get a note. Sir, it was an honor, you know.
I have a feeling that's not what it's.
No. He doesn't say it was an honor, but he does write. He says it was lovely. It was an honor hanging out with your wife. Everyone likes Liza. And people tolerate me, but no, it's just like, that's such a nice thing.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think I didn't go to acting class or anything. So it's just being on set and around different personalities and different people and picking up on, you know, what people do. And I mean, honestly, it's my mom.
Yes.
You know, she would be on set with me or my grandmother. And I would have, you know, write a note, get wrap gifts for everyone. I've just always done that. Even small things about putting at the end of the day, your costume, making sure that it's hung up, that you hang it up in the trailer.
Yes.
Because then you hear people say they just throw and they're like, thank you so much for just hanging it up. It's well, it takes a second to do that, you know, and
also sometimes it makes you realize how other people are behaving.
Right.
I've had situations where I don't know, I'm doing something and I don't know, it'll be a Sirius XM record in New York or something, and I'm headed out, and I'll pass the person at the front thing, and I'll say, I'm going to get coffee. Do you want any? And they go, what? What? And I'm thinking, I'm not giving you a kidney.
Right.
I'm saying I'm getting a coffee. Would you like one too? Mm-hmm. And you realize, oh, it's such little things like that.
I know, it just makes you
people.
feel better to be kind. I mean, it sounds so cliche and easy, but in this business, it's there's a lot of not nice people.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you look at me? And by the way, that's a made-up story about getting the coffee.
Yeah. I was like, did you really get coffee?
No, fuck that.
No, I think you took the coffee from that person.
I took her coffee, and I said, thanks for the Java. Now go get your own.
But you are known, you actually are known as the nicest and the best.
Well, that's very sweet.
You are.
But
everyone says it and everyone thinks it.
But Sona, you've seen the real me.
I have seen the real you.
Yeah.
I have. It's coming out in a tell-all.
You already wrote it.
The real Conan O'Brien.
You wrote a book.
Yeah, I did. That's right. I did.
She wrote a New York Times bestseller called World's Worst Assistant.
Yes,
and she basically put it all out there. But it's basically the two of us acting
good to have a little edge.
Yeah.
We're mostly you read the book and it's a hilarious book, but you mostly just read the book and think both of these people are idiots who shouldn't be allowed to do anything.
I think I started writing it thinking it would be a takedown of you, but it was really just an indictment on me and how bad I was as your assistant. But being your assistant, I will say there's a difference you can see between people who will dismiss you and people who actually talk to you.
Right.
I got that a lot.
Right.
Yeah. And it makes a really big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just remembering people's names.
You know, people.
You know what I mean? On set, you do meet a lot of people. It's
assistants, people can sometimes just be very rude to assistants because they're trying to get to you. And there's a lot of people who actually talk to you.
I had a really interesting thing happen to me. I've never forgotten it, which is I was working on The Simpsons. I was a writer-producer there. This is before I got the talk show, and I'm probably, 26. And I used to just wear a t-shirt and kind of that, that red James Dean kind of iconic jacket with the flip-up collar. I had one of those. Yeah. That's just how I'm dressed, and I'm wearing sneakers. And I remembered I was going to go meet my friend, Suzanne Daniels, who was a big exec over on the Fox lot. I remember for some reason I had a package in my hand that was just my package. And I walked into this office and I said, I'm here for Suzanne Daniels. And this person behind the desk went, yeah, just put that down. Just leave it there. And I went, well, actually, I'm here. And they went, just put it down, okay? Like, because I'm the delivery guy.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to stall, and the person was just looking through me like I didn't exist.
Oh my God.
And then, of course, Suzanne saw me and went, Conan, hey!
Yeah.
And this person, she was like, have you met Conan? He's a writer-producer at The Simpsons, and da-da-da, and he's going to have a late-night show in a year and a half, even though nobody knows that yet. And
She just knew?
yeah, Suzanne,
Apparently, he is a delivery boy.
yeah. But anyway, I just saw in a moment,
And then he's like, oh.
I saw a status completely shift arbitrarily.
Mm-hmm.
Because why does that make a difference?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, that executive was Jeff Ross.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
he was terrible to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When he was assistant. No, it doesn't make any sense.
You made it.
Um,
I know. You really messed
fix
it
that up. Yeah, I got it wrong. But anyway. No, you know who the assistant was?
Who?
It was a very, very young Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Wow.
bringing it
Yeah.
around.
God.
Yeah, remember, he was a fetus.
Uh-huh.
It was like, there was a fetus, a really good-looking fetus.
Yeah.
Wearing like some kind of exotic cologne. They said, like, just leave the package there. And I said, why do you have an umbilical cord? Just leave just leave it there.
And cue the rap light.
Cue the rap.
There we go.
I got us out. Hey, Elle, everyone's going to see this movie. It's a complete unknown. It's you, Timothée Chalamet, and
Edward Norton.
Yep,
Monica
and
Barbara.
it is Bob Dylan's sort of creation story, and I can't wait to see it. But also, anytime you want to come in and just sit down and talk about anything, you're one of my favorite people.
I
No,
feel
seriously,
the
you
same.
really.
I want to pop in now. I want to because The Office this is really nice with the kitchen and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just don't
Like,
go
we
in there.
just
That's
hang
our
out.
kitchen.
Like I've already have like pockets full of snacks.
Okay, well, I'll need you to empty your coat before you leave. Those snacks don't grow on trees. No, Conan, they're nuts. They literally grow on trees. You are an absolute delight, and as you know, I'm a massive fan of The Great, and watching you in that role walk this crazy tightrope of being near-death experiences, being assaulted, but then being hilariously funny in the next scene. I don't know how you do it. It's one of the best performances I've seen in a show ever, and it's one of my favorite shows. And then you just have this insane career, and you're a delight. You're a delightful person.
Thank
So come back anytime,
I will.
and thanks for being here and sharing your energy with us, because these guys are sucking the life out of me.